Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon, the Numerovator. That's King Simon, the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
rising block, first strike to the floating rib kidney. This is going to give you that effect. So even if the person is taller than you, for the most part, you cut them down to size because they're going to get that. The second strike is to the button. This is also, like I said, once again, to get the attention off of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm opening up, wrist, shoulder, slide in, elbow, break the balance, knee up and out. Let's count that in numbers one more time.
All right. Tonight we have a great show tonight. Mental health is so important, more now than ever. With Nikki Sheppard. Yes. Oh, yeah. So tonight we got a great show. Want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out. And please share, like, and thumb up this beautiful broadcast that we're about to set it off with. She'll be coming up at the 9 o'clock hour, which is 6 o'clock her time. Like, subscribe, and share, especially if you know people going through any mental issues. Here I come, family. Yes. Okay. So first and foremost, want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. I am your host, King Simon, the Numerovator, founder of the Ministry of Numerovation. And all you have to do is Google that word and you'll find me all over the place. Numerovation is definitely on the books. You know what I'm saying? And first and foremost, want to thank the great one that came on yesterday, my dear friend Leela Wills. Remember, tomorrow in New York City, make sure you support this Hip Hop Stand with Survivors. Hip Hop Stand with Survivors protest, all happening at City Hall in New York City. Sorry I cannot be there, but a lot of people are coming into town for this. Remember, it's about stopping those tax dollars from going to predators in the hip hop or the hip hop genre. And let's not get it twisted. They are predators in all genres, but hip hop is now being exposed for it. It happens in reggae, it happens in soca, it happens all over the globe with different genres of music. And if you can't make it, there is a petition that you can sign, and there's a petition right there. I will put it in the chat. So if you do want to sign it, I will put the petition to help be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. I will put it in the chat. So those that are coming in here, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Thank y'all very much for coming in so far. And it is in the chat right now if you want to sign the petition. So if you want to sign the petition, it is in the chat right now. And this is what's going on tomorrow in New York City. Support, protect your children from predators in the music business, period. So, that's what we're talking about tomorrow at the big protests on March the 27th. I want to say happy birthday to a dear friend of mine, Katrina Thomas. Today is her birthday, so much respect to her. Happy birthday to Teddy Pendergrass. I was shouting that out today on my Instagram. And do remember on Tuesday, either in the morning or at night, people look like they like me in the evening. So more than likely in the evening, join me on Instagram as I continue with the series Simon Says, King Simon Says on Tuesdays on IG. More than likely after I do all my sessions that day. So you know what it is. And just want to remind people also on Wednesday, I have my dear family member, the curator of MILF Made, and that's going to be at 11:11 a.m. on Wednesday. Allegra, she's a doula, and she says doulas aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. And that's happening on Wednesday, March the 29th. On my YouTube channel, King Simon Presents Only Quality People. And if you are into martial arts and you like to train, like I have trained for many years, Please, the gathering of the Grand Masters, Part 3 is happening in Brooklyn, New York on May the 5th and May the 6th, Friday and Saturday at 759 Washington Avenue. I will be having a few of the Grandmasters on with me in the month of April, right before the event. So look out for that. If you want to RSVP, please go to studymartialarts.com or give them a call at 718-210-3190. And we will be in New Orleans, NOLA. That's right. It's a whole weekend with myself, Lloyd Strayhorn, Jackie Levine, Aquarius Maximus, and Nina Divine. That's going to be off the hook, family. You want to be there to learn the science of metaphysics, of cardology, and all the rest of the great things that we have to offer that day. As a matter of fact, here is the website. If you can't see it clearly, here's the website. It is the 2023 Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat, New Orleans. Of course, we got to probably go to Madame Marie Laveau's place and all that while we're there and do what we got to do. But it's sthealing.com. Come on out, stay in a hotel. Let's have a good time. Let's learn about mental health through numbers, relationship through numbers, subconscious through numbers, self through numbers, and cardology. So we're going to be touching all of that weekend. We're going to have a good time. So make sure you come on out and enjoy. If you got it, come on. And do remember, support one of my teachers, LloydStrayhorn.com, 800, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, 800-581-4401. He's not only a world-renowned astronumerologist, he's also a palmist. So he knows how to read your palm and tell you some stuff. Before you smack somebody, you should get your palm read. I'm just letting you know that right now. Book a session, purchase products, sign up for the newsletter and the courses with Lloyd Strayhorn. And now that I have my new Numerovation guidance deck out there, right now I got it going on. Big up to my man, Ross Kofi, who picked up 2 of them from me yesterday at the new Black Wall Street market in New York, over here in Georgia. You can pre-order your Numerovation deck if you want a guidance learning how to know the basics of numerology. But all you have to do is email me at numerovationgcards@gmail.com. And big up to EPS Holistic Health and Wellness. Big up to them, .square, .site, and give them a call at 929-456-3009. And if you want to learn the Dr. Africa method of healing, please go to his website at lailaafrica.com. That's lailaafrica.com. If you're in Delaware, check out Drop Squad Kitchen. If you are in Brooklyn, New York, check out Nicholas Brooklyn, or in Manhattan at Nicholas Cultural. Make sure you show this and you get 10% off of all retail purchases. If you want an iridology session with the one, the only Dr. Shakira, hit her up at holisticapalace.com. Please vote for me. Vote for me. Forbidden Conscious Awards, baby. Nominate your brother, baby, because all you have to do is go through my link tree. You don't have to go through it. If you don't want to go to forbiddenknowledgetv.com, you can actually go to my link tree /King Simon the Numerovator, and you see the link right there. People have been telling me they've been voting for me. So also you subscribe to this infinitetimesmag.com. Big up to them. And if you want to take a trip down memory lane with Ashra Kwesi, go to his website or call him right now at 214-371-0206. Tell him King Simon sent you so I can get all the accolades and all the respect. Hey, if you want to get all of my books, please go to King Simon, linktree /King Simon the Numerovator. Remember, yesterday's numerology is not today's Numerovation as we continue to move forward. And you can take my classes on Udemy. It's a 2-hour course on Udemy. It's an introductory class, but it's all good. But my 8-hour class is off the hizzle for shizzle. I'm telling you right now. So go to linktree /King Simon the Numerovator. And do remember, please, if you want to book a session, my list is all the way into May going into June. But if you have patience, 347-496-1022. But if you want to interrupt my list for an emergency, it's an extra $100. Just letting you know that if you want to interrupt my list, it's an extra $100. That's $200 for 30 minutes. So that's how that works. If you want to interrupt my list, that's how it works. And as I like to say, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. Let's get that around the applause. And well, I'm happy to have this beautiful sister come back on my show again. She's not only a wonderful soul in every aspect of the way. Her name is Nikki Sheppard, and she is a licensed professional counselor, author, speaker, life coach, television host. She got all of that going on with her, man. She's just on it, on it. When I say she's on it, she's on it, on it. And, she's a proud mother of beautiful children that I see her with in pictures and all that kind of stuff. She's doing great work throughout the world and on her own podcast. And believe me, family, you're going to enjoy every moment with this beautiful sister. Matter of fact, let me make sure her information is right here. Boom. There it is. LPC therapist, and she is a life coach. Entrepreneur focus is on stress, anxiety, grief, and relationship. Contact her via IG at nikki.speaks, and also hit her up at linktree/nikki.speaks. And don't forget her beautiful website is nikkispeakstherapy.com. As we welcome right here on King Simon Presents once again, my dear friend, the one, the only, Nikki Sheppard. What's up, Nikki?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
What an introduction.
Hey, that's what I do. I told Billy he better get me on stage so I can MC a few of that stuff.
Right.
On that show, because I can turn up now.
I know, I can see.
I've been turned up, and oh man. So how you been, Nikki? How you been?
Well, I'm doing really good right now. I'm in Los Angeles, so.
City of Los Angeles. Okay,
yes.
That's what they call it.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. That's Los Angeles. That's exactly what it is. Don't let them fool you.
Right.
But first of all, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. And I want to thank you for coming and making a surprise guest appearance on Lloyd Strayhorn show early this week. And that was very helpful to the audience. And, Lloyd and I, we go back on radio back since 1980s. And he was one of the elders in this radio game. I came in right there around 89, 90, and it's him I heard. But mental health has been a serious topic around the world, but more so in America, especially after the pandemic. Things have been showing up, but it's been showing up since the year 2000 came into play. People have, especially our people, we've been recognizing that mental health is a serious thing, and we're not too afraid of therapy anymore. A lot of us there's still a few that's still on the fence. And I got that. I respect that. I've done hypnotherapy. Haven't done therapy as far, but that has been very, very helpful for my mind moving forward. Now, how did you decide to get into dealing with mental health in so to speak? Okay.
Well, like I shared on Lloyd's show, it's so funny because I had a real good friend back in, I think I was around 12 years old, and her name was Kanika. And so I always used to ask her questions. We would be just sitting there, hanging out or whatever. And I would ask her I wanted to see like how her brain was thinking and all kinds of stuff. So I was always really inquisitive growing up, and enjoyed asking people different things. And so from there, I ended up going into education. And once I went into education, I went ahead and got my master's in counseling. So it's really been really interesting to me. I know that I had a desire to help, especially like you said, our people. And really share some tools and tips that I have learned along the way that has helped me, and help people that I love and care about manage, life stressors. That's all that we have to do, right?
Yeah. And that's a lot. That's a lot going on. People are stressed out. And every time I personally look at that word stress, I kind of like try to mark it out of my dictionary.
Right.
Because
what's that? It doesn't apply to me.
I know, right? And sometimes, people, I know a lot of people out there, and people, I want to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, and share the broadcast, because this is a very important topic. And those that are tuning in from all over the world, any part of the world, all 196,940,000 square miles, please like and share share what's going on, because this is a very important topic. And this sister is one of those people that are also featured on Forbidden Knowledge, of course, channel. And I know you have a podcast on there right now, right? What is the name? What is the name of your show on?
Mind Over Matter.
Mind Over Matter. Let's give that a round of applause.
And then I also have a show with
Nina, and what's the name of that show?
Mental Strategist, the Mental
Mental
Strategist.
Strategist.
Yeah,
See,
so
let's
we're
get
on
that down. Big up to
Wednesday.
Nina and everybody.
Yes.
Now, Nikki, I know that is not I knew a doctor that was into it, and he practiced it for like 13 years, and then he had to get out of it because a lot of them had to. He told me that they had to talk themselves down after a week of meet. They
Yeah.
had to actually. That's how psychotherapy. He was a psychotherapist, and he had to
Yes.
every week at the end of the week they had to meet each other in a circle and talk each other down from what they experienced dealing with people and human. That person was the late Dr. Africa. He spoke about that to me privately.
Okay.
And do you have to do any of that? Do you have to deal with what they call it? What they call it? What is that? What would they call it?
Well, just you have to release a lot of what you hear.
Yes.
All the stories that you hear and the different lives that you're working on in helping manage and find tools and tips and strategies, solutions really to their
Right.
whatever they have going on. So I'm real big about yes, you talk to other counselors, other therapists that are in your field, and you kind of talk to them about what you're experiencing and what you've heard and just process that way. But then also there's different things you can do. Exercise. I mean, some of the same things that I ask and, suggest to my clients to do, I also do. So whether that's dance therapy, music therapy, art therapy, exercise, moving your body is really important.
Right.
Just taking care, make sure you're eating well, make sure that you're staying hydrated, all the things that we're supposed to do anyway. You have to make sure that you're on top of those things for sure.
Now, I've watched certain movies like Hannibal Lecter's movies, and, movies that dealt with a lot of. Have you ever dealt with anybody that may have committed any kind of crime or anyway? Would they tell you? Would they actually expose that to you? How would
Well,
that?
if you expose it, no, I haven't. But if you expose it, then we have to, right before we start our therapy session, we do go over a disclaimer, letting people know that anything that they share with us, we will have to report if necessary. So, yeah. So I haven't had that experience.
Yeah, because when I watch those type of movies and the people that's in the law enforcement that has to deal with mental health have to actually screen these people and to screen the mind of a killer or an abuser in any way, whether they're pedophiles or whatever. It must be a very hard task that they have to go through because they have to take in a lot of that energy, and because everything is energy. The question I'd like to ask you in the field, have you realized that a lot of the patients that you've dealt with, or clients, let's say clients, was it spiritual based? A lot of them, was it spiritual based that led them to mental health or stress or anxiety in any way?
I think I don't know. I mean, I feel like everybody has to go through something in life. It's a part of the journey, the life, our experience, the human experience is that. So I can't really say that it's a spiritual thing or it's an ethnicity thing or a gender thing or age thing. It's just a people thing, right? So we have to manage our mental health, and there's things that we've gone through. A lot of times it happens in childhood. We're exposed to different things and we have to navigate those things and process them as an adult. So I feel that a lot of times it's just a part of the human experience. That nobody's exempt.
Nobody's exempt. So even from childhood, because even children experience stress. I remember studying again Dr. Africa's book on self-diagnostic, and I looked into my own son's eye from when he was a child, and it could see that there's lines that depict in the iris in the white of the eyes if it's stressed,
right?
And you could see it in his eyes. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, you don't pay rent, you don't buy clothes, you don't do none of this, but you stressed. But you're stressed. So I got to find out, is stress coming from the school, stress coming from what they're watching, is stress coming from the parents? What is the stress that might build up in children from a young age that you might discover in your field?
Sometimes it's just the stress of life, responsibilities, not really knowing how to manage what they have to manage as far as school and expectations with chores and, household expectations, things like that. Sometimes it's a mixture of things, not just, one thing in particular.
Right.
And, sometimes maybe bullying in school and different things that they're navigating in terms of, social, feeling a sense of belonging.
Right.
in society and really trying to find their place, discover who they are, who they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I find that interesting because I was speaking to somebody was texting me on the DM about doing numbers, but they gave me a symptom that they was going through that they don't know how to process math and process different things like dealing with numbers.
Okay.
And I answered him and said, I don't think we should take on and claim a lot of these things that people throw out there because the word itself came up in 1968. Somebody came and posed this word of that, but he didn't know. He was from England too, and he didn't know that using words and being able to speak as he's able to speak. I seen him on YouTube. I watched a little YouTube channel, and I said, speaking and formulating words is a form of mathematics. A lot of them don't. A lot of people don't understand that.
Wow.
Because a lot of people don't realize that every word has a frequency connected to it.
Right.
And the frequency is connected to numbers.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why. So if you claim something that's been thrown on you for so long, then you will become that thing.
Right.
It's like autism. You have people that I know that's autistic or claim autistic, but this guy, one of the guys, is an excellent drummer, excellent artist. That means they learn differently than what the society has dubbed as an autistic child.
Right.
How do you deal with things like that? And do you allow them to live in that same word that they was taught, whether it's autism or this word? I know I know the word. I got it somewhere. I know I took a Photoshop of it. But do you allow them to live in that same word, or do you try to show them why they should at least try to get away from those labels? That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
What do you say?
So there's different diagnoses that we have that we give clients, and that's all based upon symptoms, right? Different things that they are presenting with that's showing up in their current state right then. And sometimes it's from the past as well, from childhood or what have you, different traumatic events that they've experienced. And so once we have that diagnosis, I particularly, personally share that this is what it is. This is the, definition, textbook definition.
Yes.
But it does not mean that it's who you are. So the goal would be to basically treat the symptoms, different things that are coming up. It's just like if you have medication. To me, talk therapy is a form of medication. Right. So you find out what the symptoms are, and then you start coming up with solutions that are going to be able to manage that particular, title or label or what have you, but does not mean that you're going to be that forever. So a lot of people, the statistics show that we have over, I think it's 4.6 million people that are dealing with generalized anxiety disorder. So some form of anxiety at some point in their lives, and that's a yearly basis. That doesn't have anything to do with gender, doesn't have anything to do with ethnicity, none of that. Right. But so if we know that that's the case, are those people still rolling over into the next year with anxiety? Not necessarily, because some of them are choosing to manage that particular diagnosis in a different way, which is, exercise, making sure you're eating right, doing some type of hobby, spending time with loved ones, different things that you can do. Yeah. So it's not a death sentence.
Right. No, I understand. But what's interesting, the guy on the DM, he voicemailed me and he said, he grew up with a Caribbean father that gave him this quote unquote word, tough love.
Oh, okay.
And I come from a Caribbean family that had that tough love, but even all the stuff that I even went through, I had to toughen it out because, and that word tough love didn't appear into the phraseology of the world until 1968 by a Bill Milliken. I researched that stuff.
Okay.
What words and phrases?
Need some stuff.
Yeah, tough love came up from a phrase seemed to have been emerged from in 1968 with an author of a book. His name was Bill Milliken, and it was really about an outreach program to prevent risk kids from dropping out of school. So they gave them tough love. Like back in the day, you remember Scared Straight and all that kind of.
Oh yeah,
that was a tough. And when I seen it, I didn't want to go to jail either when I was younger. Yeah. So that kind of helped.
Right.
Nowadays, these children and our people are real sensitive real overly sensitive. And I know from a mathematical perspective, I know what it is from the vibration and the frequency of the 2000s. I know what that is. But
Okay.
what say you? Have you noticed in the field that you're in that people have become more sensitive and now really, really pouring out of what has happened to them from their past, their mom, their dad, the molestation, all of that? And what do you say about tough love? What do you say about the use of tough love?
Hmm. Well, I think the pandemic really, that's an excellent question. The pandemic really showed us that some of us have to, all of us really, not some, all of us have to kind of slow down and do a self-analysis, a
Right.
body scan. It's like, how am I doing?
Exactly.
Is there anything that I need to change, improve? What ways can I become better and stronger? Is there anything that's showing up today in my current behavior and attitudes that is really because of something that I've been conditioned to do in the past? Is any of my, how's my relationship? The pandemic we had no choice, right? So
Right.
we're still in that zone as far as I'm concerned. So the pandemic was really good for us as a, nation to be able to really slow down and see what we need to change. Now, the tough love piece, I feel like it's really important to communicate,
Right.
to communicate. So tough love is okay, but you have to make sure you're communicating so that if you are showing tough love to someone, that you're able to really share with them why it is that you're acting the way that you are, what it is that you're trying, because sometimes tough love means you're trying to prevent them from making some of the same mistakes that you
Right.
did,
Right.
or someone that you love, or or maybe someone did, period. And so it's just explaining the why behind it so that they know that it's not that you're just picking on them or what have you. I don't agree with tough love that involves, name calling or anything
Okay.
like
Yeah. Of course.
that.
Right.
But yeah, but one that is just, you're going to go through things in life just that's real, that's showing them that, hey, you have to find out a way to cope. And, what is your way to cope? So I'll ask you that question, when you say that you went through your season of, understanding what tough love is, what was your way to cope?
My way was cope. My way to cope was what I do. What I love was singing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard you singing one time, a couple times.
I was number 5 on the reggae charts back in the day. So I was a
What?
singer. So I did all
Why
that.
am I just now figuring this out?
Don't worry about that, girl. That was my past. That was the
Yes.
past. I was there. If you
What
heard
was your name so I can look it up after this?
you could go to Anthony Brown, or you can look up Simon Temple. But on the song that went up to number 5 is under Anthony Brown, my middle name, because that's one of my middle names. Simon and Anthony are my middle names.
What? Okay.
But I was there. You heard of Shaggy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I went to school with Shaggy. Him and I went to high school. So it's not.
Wow.
We was there in the Brooklyn doing that stuff. So every time I see him, we yell Simon Wagwan. It's just we hail each other up because we grew up in that. We grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, doing what we did. So
Okay.
I've been known to as Simon Temple or Anthony Brown, but I went up to number 5. But let's not about me.
Yeah, I want to. That was the way I bring that up because, like I sing too, and so many people don't realize that singing, making music, period, can really be therapeutic to you.
Yeah, and I grew up with a father. A father was in and out of my life who was former Marine. My uncle's also military. And then, I went into the Nation of Islam, which we considered a paramilitary, so to speak, a spiritual paramilitary, and in under the Ansarullah community, under that in my young days. And those are organizations that helped me to stay in line to a certain extent because, like I said on Lloyd and a few other shows before, I tried to take my life at 8 years of age. But what the intervention that happened with me was that there was a barrage of voices that came to me in my head that told me I'm gonna miss my grandmother. What am I doing? So there was a whole lot of stuff happening. You miss your mother. You're gonna miss your. What are you doing? And I just put down that blade and the razor blade and went and ran and cried it out in my room. But nobody understood. Nobody knew that I was going through it. I had to toughen it up. Whatever ancestors hit me with that, I'm like, it scared the hell out of me to put it down. Right. What is this saying? Why are these people talking to me?
Right.
I'm in the darkness of the bathroom.
Wow.
I would have been out. I would have been a picture of my mother's altar at this time. Nobody would know about me. But every time, like I said on Lloyd, there's always been an intervention, whether you call it angels or ancestor, every time it happened. So I
Mm-hmm.
knew at the last and third time, nah, I don't need to do this. I got things to do. And
Good.
and then and
Good.
so and in certain cultures now, Nikki, there are people that do it because of their culture. They had to
Mm.
doing war and all that kind of stuff. If they want to get captured by the enemy, they create knife in their stomach, pull up, I'm out. They got to
Right.
go.
Right.
Some of our ancestors jumped off the boat and got the heck out of there. They wasn't
Right.
going for it. So my I know you deal with stress, anxiety, grief, and relationship. I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to go too deep because I could go into war and all of that stuff, Japanese customs and all that because I study it. But
Right.
when somebody comes to Nikki Speaks Therapy, what is the first thing that you do with them to help them relax? Because everybody is not ready for everybody is not just coming to be spill their guts out to a therapist. What is the first thing you do
Right.
to help relax them, please?
Well, I first, kind of tell them a little bit about myself and then let
Mhm.
them know that it's just a conversation,
Right.
and here's the thing, like any person, any therapist that you're working with, like we understand that we may not be the person you end up working with.
Mm. Mhm.
So and you always have an out. So if you come to me or anybody that's a therapist and you feel that maybe there's not a connection there or what have you, then it's fine. We just basically will refer you to somebody that we feel will be a better fit or that you may feel may be a better fit.
Mhm.
So I want to make people feel comfortable and know that they're not locked into working with me. But I
Mm.
do hear their story. I encourage them to share whatever piece of their story or part of their story that they want to share to their comfort level. And then I, basically give them some suggestions right there at that first session,
Mhm.
so that they kind of have an idea of, what the goals would be for their therapy and for me to help them, improve in some way.
Mm.
But I
Well,
also do life coaching. So my life coaching is
I see.
globally.
I see. Yes.
Yeah.
You
And
know. Go
my
ahead.
counseling is just in the state of Texas.
But you got a very comforting voice. I could tell. It's like
Mhm. Thank you.
like you could be doing love lines and all that.
I love mine. They still have those?
Yes, they do. It's underground nowadays, but it's still there.
Oh,
I know
okay.
I know a few people in escort that does.
Okay.
Like, look, I've been down that life. That life I know.
Okay.
But again, doing life coach and all that you're doing, I'm showing people your website and how
Thank you. I
presentable
see
you
that.
are as a Gemini spirit and being flexible as you are, and
Mhm.
that's the glory of it and that's the beauty of it. But a lot of our brothers, I see that there's a lot of help for sisters most of the time,
Yeah.
or let's say sisters are the ones that's making it in demand for them to heal mentally, spiritually, find the boundaries and that. But a lot of brothers are not doing that. How can one come to you? A brother might come to you and get their service from you, and how would you make them feel? Because most of us, I have a son that's going through it right now,
Mm-hmm.
and as much as we he's going through it, we also notice that he can be manipulative even using that because he feels he has an out by just saying and just giving us an episode, and then he's out of his mother go crying to him. I'm one of those people, when things go wrong, I don't go with it. I just watch you.
Mm.
And then I say, "Oh, I know what you do." And once I can watch you, and then one of my own sons, my other son, can watch you, his own brother do the same thing, and realize that it is a manipulation tool. He's learned to pick up. Like children get to learn. They watch what parents and how they react with the different
Right.
parents. Sometimes they'll try to put the mother against the father and the father against the mother. They know how to do that. They're wiser than we think. So when it gets to
True.
a manipulative use, what do we
Mm-hmm.
do for that? And how do we help some of these brothers? Let's deal with it when it becomes manipulative. What can we do for that first, especially with young people? And then we go to the brothers.
I believe that just realizing that it takes time. So if
Mhm.
this is something that, I mean,
That's
if
what
you
the
like,
therapist said too. It takes
yeah, if
time.
you if you both are recognizing that as, what you feel it is, just know that he is his own person and he is in time.
Yes.
he's going to get better and he will improve as long as he continues to be consistent. I mean, that's the goal, that's the hope, right? I cannot guarantee that he will, but you know, you have to be patient. You know, I was actually working with a client the other day, and I said, you know, it's not like we pick, oh, I want this parent, this child, this you know what I mean? Like, we get what we get in life. You know, sometimes we do have some choices as far as who we choose to mate with and partner with and to have children with, but our parents and certain things like that, our siblings, you know, we just really don't have a choice. So if they are in our lives and they're a part of our family, whether we want them to or not, whether we agree with what they're doing or not, whether we agree with their progress or not, our number one goal is to love them, and to be patient, because it does take time and there's something deeper within him. It may be manipulation, like you said, that he's doing,
Right.
but there's something deeper within him that the therapist is probably going to tap into eventually. That, you know, he may have awakening. And that's the beautiful thing about talk therapy, is you never know when you're going to have an aha moment and you're going to get it.
Right. Right.
You know, the other things like exercise, nutrition, all of that, that's maintenance. But talk therapy provides you with the opportunity to really have a different way to look at whatever you're experiencing, and really think out the box, so to speak. I feel like a lot of people are kind of stuck in the past. So he may be, you know, and not that you don't process the things from the past and heal from the things of the past, but to be stuck there where basically that's how you're functioning, you know, as a child or as a hurt, you know, injured person or what have you. You know, you just kind of have to be aware of that and do your best to shift into the present moment. And I always say, go to therapy. So I'm not saying that, you know, nobody needs it. Like even you know, maybe you could go, or, you know, you said your brother
My
is
son,
also
my son, my
sees
other
it,
son, my other son. Yeah, my other
the other
son.
son.
Yeah, yeah,
So, you know, I mean, maybe we all can, you know, have a tune up here and
yeah,
there.
yeah. You know, and sometimes, you know, like I tell a lot of people, even my own clients, if you know, a lot of things we hold on to because this world is the learning experience. This realm is about experience.
Right.
That's why you're seeing all genders and all that kind of stuff. You got we got humans with animals nowadays. So that's an
Mhm.
experience. That's their own experience. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and metaphysically, people would say that you did choose your parents, but it's to
Hmm.
find out what lessons that you came to choose them, why you came through to come to those parents, whether it's the adopted one you had to end up in their hands, whether it's the one that end up molesting you. What lessons are you going to turn and flip them into the highest
Good.
solution orientated blessings?
Right.
What is it? Because some people will just waddle in it and, oh, woe is me. This woe is me attitude is like, whoa, I could have done that. Woe is
Right.
me, and don't do nothing. Don't produce a book. Don't do nothing. Don't write
Yeah.
about my experience. But and majority of us not going to do it. It's like over 7 billion people on planet. Everybody's not going to do it. There's going to be the 10%, the 5%, the 10%, and the 85%. It's just what
Right.
it is,
That's
and
just the way it is.
it's
Yeah.
just the way it is. But you know, if people come to me to get my services, and I'll
Hmm.
guide them to people like you or somebody like that, because I see that they can. Especially when people come and say, "I've been having suicidal thoughts and all." I said, "Look, look, look. That's above my pay grade. This is what you
Oh
need to do.
yeah.
This
Tell
is
them
what
to
you
call
need."
911 immediately. That's number one. Yeah.
Suicide hotline is international,
Right.
whatever, whatever,
Hmm.
because they're paid and they're instructed to do that. As long as you know, so and that's where I'm at. But yeah, when you know when it becomes, because a lot of these younger people think they know more than their parents.
Mm.
And I always tell my children, look, I was born in the morning, but not yesterday morning. So all that you've done, I've done, and
Hmm.
I might have done it better because to this day, I never brought a police officer to my mother's house.
Mm.
Whatever I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she is proud to say that to other people. That
Right.
I was always that dude that even when I did criminal work, I got away and did what I had to do. And never brought the police because I know how nervous she gets around police because she was raised with a police officer.
Oh, okay.
And that traumatized her because of what he did to her and the family. So
Mm.
that's a whole nother thing. So, do you say from a therapeutic perspective? A lot of therapy, a lot of this is still hands on with a lot of therapists out there. They're still learning themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's still theories that we're exploring here. It's a lot of theories.
Right.
Everything is a theory.
Right.
Who knows?
Case study.
Exactly. Let's put it like that. A
Yeah.
case study. Because I've done case study with numerology. I used to give $1 to a homeless person and say, just tell me your birthday. So I can break it down and find out why they
Wow.
went down that road. I found people that were
Wow.
born the same day as Barack Obama, if
Hmm.
not the same year. You know what I'm saying? That's homeless in New York, or born the same day as
Mm.
Fat Joe, or born the same day as Ian Levanzant, whatever. But I did that case study to check it. I still do it to this day. I get their birthdays. I'm like, whoa, oh.
Wow.
But I know the positive and negative of it. So,
But you
and
know what? You know
yes,
what? I feel like everybody is it. No matter what or
yes.
who I've spoken to, it always starts with some type of relationship
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
causes, us to need some type of therapy. And it may
Mm-hmm.
be a childhood relationship. It could be something in school. It could be our parents. It could be,
Yep.
somebody we love and care about or what have you. So it's, to me, that's why I always say, I like to talk about relationships and help people with relationships because that's at the core,
Yes.
you
That
know?
relationship with a bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love the drink. Oh, wow.
Relationships they have with themselves,
Exactly. Exactly.
self-esteem and self-confidence. I know you had mentioned self-sabotage and
That's
everything
sabotage.
like that.
I,
It's really
and that's interesting you say that because I believe that I self-sabotage a lot of my relationship because of abandonment issues.
you want to be the first one to leave.
Yeah, because you don't want
You
her to
can't
because
reject, you don't want anybody to reject you,
yeah,
right?
because and that goes. I definitely know where it comes from. It comes from my
Right.
mother having to go to work at night and my father having to go to work at night and leaving us with
Mm,
relatives upstairs and everybody's really downstairs, but everybody's secured. But you always wonder why your mother have to leave at a young age or why your father have to leave.
right.
And I used to get all kind of vivid dreams and people walking in, and I used to have all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh wow.
When people leave, so I was very intuitive with a lot, and I believe my
Okay.
sister was also. But my
Hmm.
sister's like 2 years younger than me, so and my sister said it, who is also a life coach, and she used to be on radio in New York City on Kiss FM
Okay.
in New York as a gospel radio and life coach on radio.
Oh,
And
that's
she
awesome.
she she said to me at my mother's house, she said something to me, and I kind of lashed out at her. And this is years ago. And I lashed out at her, and she said, abandonment issue. I said, I ain't got no abandonment issue. I walk out. And then I realized when I started studying the word, I said, oh, now when I can unpack it for myself,
Hmm.
and my cousin telling me, yo, you basically held yourself down. When you realized you was about to do some dangerous stuff, you got yourself out of that circle. I readjusted myself, reinvented myself, and left. I
Hmm.
ran away from home at 16 years of age, and like I gotta go. I become Muslim and do something. I gotta stay, and that's what I
Stay
mean.
active. Stay
Yeah,
in motion.
right. So I had to keep it in motion. And I don't, a lot of these children are so caught up in, a lot of young people are so caught up in the games at home and they're not experience outside or travel like I did from a young age. I traveled.
Mhm.
My mother sent me to Jamaica, summer sent me to Canada. So I got to travel and see things. And I was not afraid to go and study and research and find out who I was. I tell you one thing, Nikki,
That's good.
that triggered me from stop hating myself was the
Hmm.
was the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad when he
Mm.
said, "Who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe." That
Wow.
stimulated my mind from 14 and said, "You know what?
Mhm.
I'm in search for the God within me, the God of the universe, me."
I love that because I love that your path led you that way because
Yes,
it gave
ma'am.
you
Yes, it did.
something to believe in,
It did,
you know?
yes. And then when you study the history, that's who they used to worship us as gods.
Oh, yeah.
What? The Europeans was on us. They were scared. They
Mhm.
thought we was the gods. We was building pyramids and doing all the craziness. They were like, "What the? Who are these people?"
Who are these chocolate people?
Exactly. That you could call aliens today,
Right, right.
but they was calling us aliens then, Nikki. So
Yeah.
there's a
Very
cycle.
gifted. We're very
Yeah,
gifted culture.
but a lot of people have been pulled away from that through media, television, trauma, all that kind of stuff, all of that stuff, to
Mhm.
the point that we trauma bonding. We
Yeah.
trauma bond with and watch trauma porn on television, constantly keeping us away. What do you tell people, suggest in it to any of your clients to stop watching the news or something like that? Have you ever done that to any of your clients to help them?
Well,
Say,
yeah, I mean, it depends. I personally don't watch the news a whole lot just
me
because a lot
neither.
of times a lot of times it's, it's a lot of negativity and it
Exactly.
elicits fear and anxiety and worry, doubt, all those things. And so you have to make sure that you pay attention to what you're letting in on a daily basis because
Exactly.
you deserve to have your peace. We don't get these days back. We get them 24 hours a day at a
Exactly.
time. So
Exactly.
you want to make sure that, you enjoy your days because we will not see them again. And you don't want to have your day full of negativity and stress and all those things. We don't have to fear the future because if it's going to come, it's going to come anyway. And let's
Right.
deal with it then when it comes versus having to plan and navigate, how am I going to deal with adversity and all these negative things that I don't want to attract and I don't want to have happen to me.
Yeah.
Instead, take it one day at a time and just be very present to your day. What is it that you're working on right now? What can you control right now? What can you manage, change, improve in this moment today? And
That's
what
right.
can you learn from yesterday?
That's
Because
right.
that's about the lessons like you talked about earlier.
Now, family, if you want to, of course, continue to welcome our beautiful sister, Nikki Sheppard. She's our guest. She's a therapist, life coach, entrepreneur, focuses on stress, anxiety, grief, and relationship. You can contact her via IG. She does answer her IG in the DM. So just don't DM her brothers just DM and stop playing. You know what I'm saying? I know what
Yeah.
they do. That it's business, baby. It's business. DM at Nikki.speaks and also hit her up at Linktree where it leads to her website and everything. Linktree / Nikki.speaks. And also her website, which is right here on the front of the line, family, www.nikkispeaks at therapy.com. Now, relationship, we've been talking about, you've been in and out of relationship, but I want to delve in since we have a few more moments with you, my dear.
Okay.
Relationship, because everybody wants to be into a relationship, but
In
nobody.
love.
Yeah. Looking for love in on the wrong place. Yeah, some people
Looking for love.
like Eddie Murphy, looking for nub,
Love.
nub. I look for nub in wrong place. So big up to Eddie. Relationship factor. Now, let's deal with the quote unquote older, younger connection in relationship. Can that be connected to mental health? Like older women dealing with younger men, older men dealing with younger women. What is that all about? Please.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it just depends on energy and magneticism.
Magneticism.
Right.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Right. And it just depends. Like it's so interesting because you can find basically, whoever you're attracting, whoever you're attracted to. A lot of times I feel like, and this is my opinion, it has to do with where you're at right then in that season of your life and how you see yourself and your worth and all those things. And so I don't know necessarily that it's tied to a specific age, but I do believe that a lot of times it has more to do with your energetic level. So if you don't like who you've been attracting or who you're in a relationship with or considering being in a relationship with, then I would say pull back and do some more self-improvement, work on yourself, focus on yourself, and then try to go fishing again in the future. But just enjoy the moment. Sometimes I feel like we get so lost in whether or not that person is the one for us. And it's, instead of that, maybe it's just, I'm just going to enjoy this person in this season of my life because this, all I have is today. So if they're here right now, I've chosen them to be there. I've accepted that. I'm okay with that. And I'm working towards continuing that. But yeah, so I don't think it's necessarily age related. I think a lot of times it has to do with where you're at.
What about of course this is her IG, of course she got mental strategist, of course MS, which is interesting, MS. With her beautiful what's her name, the sister's name, Miss Ashford. Antonina. What's a nice name. Somebody mixed with Anthony and Nina. What's that?
Yes. Yeah, she was supposed to be, I was trying to contact her so she could be on today.
Oh, I would have had two of y'all fine women on my show. That
Yeah.
would have been nice. That would have been nice. And what's going on here in Dallas? What's this Glow Dallas? What's this all
Okay,
about?
so this is an event that I partner with a lady, Dr. LaDonna, and we
Okay.
actually have the same middle name, Yvette. And so
Okay.
she's going to be coming out to from Arizona to Dallas, and we're going to do an event together. It's her event, but I'm supporting her in it. It's called Glow Dallas.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it'll be April 30th. So if you're interested in attending, I have some information. Just DM me, or you can actually follow her too. It's on my page.
Okay. Now, getting back to the age thing, because some people, you figure out when you're dealing with older or younger, it's usually either a lack of mommy or lack of daddy in the life. What say you? Because it's a lot of that goes on too. We can talk about the energy, but at the end of the day, somebody might not have had a daddy along the way, and they attracted to somebody that a little older because of the lacking of dad or mommy, and they want an older mommy. They want the older woman to treat them like their child. What do you say about that?
Well, I don't know that is always the case. I feel like it may be, that's going on in times like that. But it's kind of like one of those things when people say, if you are gay or lesbian or what have you, that sometimes it's because you went through something with that opposite sex that was, pretty traumatic, or sometimes you weren't attracted to them at all because, when you were younger or what have you. So I just think it just depends.
Okay.
I know everybody feels like it's a textbook rule, but I don't.
I got the DSM. I got the DSM books. I got volume.
Yeah.
I got them big ass thick books.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's always, just a textbook. I think sometimes it just matters your life experiences too.
That's an interesting.
Sometimes, it's a preference, because you might have been with younger guys, or you might have been with people your age, and then all of a sudden, and maybe because of that experience, it was a negative experience, and so you decided not that you need a daddy, but that you need someone that's a little bit more mature, that's advanced. Has some more wisdom, maybe a little bit more, experience with life and going through things and navigating that, especially if it's somebody that's accomplished, whether it's male or female, that's older than you, that's accomplished, and you may be attracted to that success and want that for yourself. And you see it as an opportunity to be with somebody that can help you in that process, your maturation process, versus someone your age or younger that may not have the same skill set that older person would have. So it's not always, to me, I don't know for sure, but to me, it's not always because of lack of parenting or, having somebody older in your life.
That's interesting. I mean, that's a balanced answer. You're rarely on the fence here.
Yeah.
You're real good. That's real good. You play that Gemini role real good.
Yeah.
Let me balance this out, King Five.
Yeah. Because it's like, I would have to talk about case studies. I'd have to do a case study and a survey on that particular topic. And it's so funny because some of my friends, we'll get into these debates all the time. And I often share with them, it's like, okay, but what about this? But what about that? Because you want to see a balanced perspective versus just it's a golden rule. I want to see if that's the case. They said that that's always the case. If you're with someone older, it's because of a lack of, having mommy or daddy in your life. Then where's the percentages and the case studies that show that? It may be majority, but then there's also people that they're making those choices because of different reasons too. Sometimes it's a security thing, a financial thing, mating with someone that is going to be financially sound, so that you don't have to really worry about, stressing about your finances and things like that. So people are making decisions that are best for them in that season, whatever season they're in, even if it's a mistake, even if it's the wrong decision, initially when they're in that dating phase and decision-making phase, I feel like they're making the best decision for them based upon their experiences.
I find that interesting because when I was younger, older women was coming to me.
Okay.
And then as I got older, younger women are coming.
Okay.
So I might have the balance of the two. Right. I keep a young energy anyway, so it's not like
nobody your age.
Huh?
Nobody your age?
Now, no, not really my age now. And but usually, if there's gonna be anybody older, if they really let you know that yo, and they just want to get it in, and I have to get it out. I gotta run. But
Oh my goodness.
no, I'm 56 now, but I'm like once a man,
Black
twice.
don't crack.
Yeah, I'm once a man, twice a child. I'm going in my second childhood right now, so I'm enjoying my second childhood. And yeah, the
Yeah.
younger ones are coming, but you still have to. You have to like, wait a minute, boom, you this or you that. What's going on with you? And you're trying to, be respectful and enjoy, but also you got to recognize who you are and what you're willing to deal with. You
Yeah.
know, especially in relationships, because some, older men ain't got no time to deal with a lot of bull crap. Look,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I say what I mean what I say most of the time. And usually I'm really direct. And now I've had to learn to be empathetic so I won't shut down people and hurt people's feelings.
Understanding.
That's
Yes.
the yeah. I had to learn that. I learned that at 40, especially coming out of the club life, because I was like Rick James, cold as ice long ago. Baby,
Sing
baby.
reggae and everything. I bet you were.
Yo, look, I'm born the same day as Rick James. So I
Okay.
know when I see, anytime I talk about Rick James, I'm looking at me and him have the same life path. Although he born 1948, him and I have the same life path. I know if I was on drugs after watching his documentary, I would be crazy, just like Rick.
Mm.
I would have had a pool in my living room, just like Rick. I like that stuff. I used to love that. I used to love parties that much that, I've thrown strip shows, swing parties. I did all that book. I did all that
Okay.
foolishness already. So I'm not afraid to talk about it. Matter of fact, I'm writing a book about it. So,
Okay.
because I have to tell people the pros and cons and get it out of my system, because my brother and his wife still has the groups that I created back in those days. So, and my name is still in the history of it, so I know that I have to galvanize a few of my friends that's been into the swingers life and all that kind of stuff. And they're not even in it no more, but I want to talk about the pros and cons and what they learned from and what was it that attracted them to it. So we can have something to offer the world, that some of these women and men met their women and men at these parties and became life partners or got married and what have you. And
change their lifestyle.
Change their lifestyle. Except some people still enjoy that lifestyle, but there's no judgment on my part because I've seen it. I've seen it, and I facilitated those type of parties. I have nothing to hide from it. That's why I tell people I'm never running for politics. So they'll be pulling out a lot, and I've been saying, look, I already said that. Y'all begging. I've thrown every party except gay parties because that's not my thing. There it is.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. So, but all other parties, pajama party, pool parties, all that, which it's a mental thing when people like to go to parties all the time. That is a mental thing. And whether it's positive or negative, people just want to enjoy themselves or release. I noticed by studying the club life that it is a culture. It is another lifestyle.
It's a way of coping.
It's a way of coping. Yes.
I mean, just like any type of alcohol, anything like that, it's a way of coping with life stressors.
Yes.
So some people do, I feel, go out and hang out and live, different lifestyles or what have you, just to cope with whatever they are managing. Stress, anxiety, you name it, past traumas, things like that.
In relationship, what are some of the stress that you see relationships go through? Any relationship that you have dealt with as far as your clientele is concerned?
Well, a lot of work stress. So if either partner is stressed at work, then they bring that home. Sometimes it's just the stress of managing the household, small children or children, period, agreeing on, parenting rules and expectations. If there's another person that's introduced into the relationship, so infidelity, of course, is a huge one. A lot of aggression. People just, if they're in high stress jobs, then coming home and maybe being verbally abusive or what have you, sometimes physically abusive, can definitely be, hard to navigate in a relationship. So I really, talk to clients that are in a relationship and tell them, encourage them to communicate, make sure that they are doing all that they can to be honest and open about whatever they're experiencing, what their expectations are, and work together as a team, have that team mentality. It's kind of like, when you play sports, it's, I know you did track as well.
Yeah,
you ran track and so did I, but it's like, you have to show up for the race whether you want to or not, and if the person that you're running with, if you're in a relay or what have you, if it's a basketball game, whatever it is, you have to make sure that you are, doing your part and you don't give up on the team just because, maybe they didn't do so well, maybe they made a mistake or those types of things. And so I myself was married for 20 years and ended up going through a divorce. And so, removing myself from that situation, looking in, I can see so many different things I could have done better. I did a lot of great things, but then you can see the things that you could have done better. So I usually counsel and coach clients from that perspective.
Right.
I always say I know a lot of what to do and a lot of what not to do.
Right. Okay, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, Nikki, I'm so proud of your greatness and what you've been doing in your life. I'm so happy that I got to meet you. Under those, blessings with, of course, with Billy Carson and his beautiful fiancee Elizabeth Hoekstra.
Yes.
And all the things that you're doing. I'm so proud of your journey. And thank you so much for even coming on and coming out. I can't wait to come on your program and have some fun with y'all and you and your audience.
Yes. It's coming up. I have to get with her on the date, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, let me know, because I'll be in Florida for a little bit, and then anytime after probably my travel to New York, probably be better going from end of April going into March. I'd probably be better for me.
Okay.
And I'll be settled back at home,
right?
Because I'm running around while I'm out there, but I appreciate you so much. Any closing words for our audience as far as mental health and the need to overcome stress, anxiety, grief, anything?
Well, I would just say, if you feel that you need any type of assistance, someone to talk to, there's so many therapists that'll, talk to you for a session and give you a consultation, or they'll actually, work with you on that first session to be able to manage, whatever it is that you're going through, and just know that you're not alone. You're a phone call away, a text away, an email away from, really getting the help that you need. Make sure you take care of your body, move your body as much as you can, focus on health and wellness. I'm real about, really real about holistic therapy. So making sure from the top of your head to sole of your feet, you're working on you. Meditation is amazing. Yoga, those types of
taking baths. I've been taking spiritual baths lately. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, essential oils, listening to Hertz music.
Yes.
Or any type of music, jamming it out, dancing reggae, Afro beats.
That's right. All of it. Do whatever it takes. Matter of fact, I put it in my book, Numerovation, a lot of different alternative ways of doing it. Sun gazing, all you got it, everything. You do. So but it's not a one size fit all thing.
Right. I need to get that book.
I need to get it.
It's
all good. Yeah, it's good. It's good, because I do recommend certain things to go. I got a disclaimer that I am not a mental therapist, so please do not. But do go to the licensed ones out there to make it happen. I wish I knew you earlier. I would have put you on the website in my book like I did many people.
Wow. I always tell people, make sure you go and get a diagnosis. So don't listen, when you're seeing different things on social media and therapists that are speaking about it. I have a disclaimer on my Instagram that addresses that. Just make sure you get the help that you need. It's not a diagnosis or advice. It's just suggestions, solutions that you can investigate to see if that's good, if it's going to work for you.
Somebody just said help can be so expensive, reasons some don't reach out. So what do you say about that?
Absolutely. That's so true. And so there's something called BetterHelp. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
I've heard of it.
You see it all over social media. I used to work for them for a little bit, and they do offer some, basically promotional type things where you can work with them for a certain amount of time. So check with them. Mm-hmm. And then there are some therapists that offer pro bono. We get a tax break at the end of the year if we do pro bono services for a few clients. And so each practice is different. If you need a referral list, right now I'm full as far as taking individual clients, but I do take coaching clients out of state. And we focus on similar things, but we just don't have the diagnosis. Okay. But if you do want a referral for someone in your state, then just reach out to me and I will make sure I get you a list or look at something.
Right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. That's right. Reach out to my beautiful sister. She is a wonderful spirit, wonderful Gemini energy. She's born the same day as Kendrick Lamar, so big up to her. She got a lot of energy. And Go to her website, go to a link tree. She got stuff that leads to her books. Also, Nikki's book, Finding Your Voice, admits the trauma and drama of everyday life. And also Nikki's fertility booklet, Blessed to Conceive. She got those books on her link tree also. So make sure you go through those link trees and find out. And Nikki, thank you very much. I can't wait to see you. Hopefully, I'll see if I can stay a little longer just to go give you a hug.
Yeah.
Well, you might go out and eat lunch and dinner. So let's go party.
You know? Right.
We're gonna party in the mansion. All right, beautiful. Thank you very much, my dear. Let me know when you want me on, and we'll deal with that and make it happen. When you want to talk to me, like you said, out here, we'll talk. Let me know.
Okay. Right. Yeah. All right. I'll send you a message.
All right. Love you, girl. Love you. All right. Bye. My girl, Nikki. Man. Woo! That's my girl, Nikki, man. Yeah, Nikki Sheppard. She's our guest. She was our guest. Make sure you rewind this and watch it over. She gave some good information. We dropped some great information between both of us about mental health. The topic today was mental health ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing to play with. I mean, we went through stress, anxiety, grief, relationship, age differences, all of that. She said it was all about energy, man. A lot of energy work when you're dealing with age differences and all, you know, but that's, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Cheryl. You know what it is. Crystal, yeah, thank you very much. We trying to keep it going here. Please like, share, subscribe, and share the video, because some people are going through a lot of mental health problems and they don't know how to deal with it. It's all right. It's all right to get therapy if you can. I got hypnotherapy with Kendall. That helped me immensely. If you don't want to do regular therapy, do hypnotherapy. If you don't want to do metaphysics therapy, do all of that. Phil Valentine offers some therapy through metaphysics. Different people offer some different types of go with who you feel. But again, this sister is a great sister. www.nikkispeakstherapy.com. Great sister. Just tell her King Simon referred you. Her IG is right there. Her link tree is right there. Of course, her IG contact her via IG. And hit her up on the IG. She does answer her DM and tell them you've seen her on King Simon's show. And she'll give you a hookup, man. She'll hook you up. She's good people. She'll definitely get into helping you out as much as you can, especially if you know somebody like me and you've done, if you're willing to do the work, you got to do the mental work. It is mental work that we have to do. You understand? And again, family, tomorrow, if you're in New York City, please go to the protest. Be there on time, 9 a.m., March 27th, New York City Hall. Go over there right now. Hip hop stands with survivors. Protect your children from predators in the music world, in any world, but this just happens to be hip hop and what has happened in the hip hop world. And if you can't make it, sign the petition. That is the petition you can sign right now. change.org/UHHM protest. Make sure you support. We had Leela Wills. You can go back to one of the programs just happened yesterday with Leela Wills. Go and support the sister. It's going to be a powerful, powerful event tomorrow in New York City. So if you're in the tri-state area, it is what it is. Tuesday, join me on Instagram. King Simon Says Tuesdays. We're going to have another topic. I don't know what topic I'm going to discuss this time, but last time people was calling in from Africa through IG. You get to come on, talk to me. Let's deal with it and find out how you cope with certain things in your life. And then I'll see what I can do with your numbers. So I do this on IG every Tuesday, and I'm doing it since the 21st. I'm going to go all the way till April 21st, till April 30 days. The last Tuesday of April, then I'll do it over there too. If you're interested in doulas, this sister is the curator of MILF Made, dealing with doulas, and her slogan is doulas aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. Wednesday, March the 28th, I have Allegra coming in, and she happens to be one of my young cousins that is doing it and taking on one of our ancestors' position, who was a midwife, but my aunt Vicky did so much stuff in the doula, and my grandmother, who was a partner of hers in the midwifery world, she's taking on the doula. I guess she didn't want to go and study for the midwifery, but I'll definitely going to ask her the question why she didn't go for the midwifery, which probably entails a lot of nursing degrees and all that kind of stuff. So I know how deep that can get. All right. Also, if you're into martial arts, family, this is where the martial arts is going to be. May 5th and May 6th with all the great grandmasters will be there. Soke Littlejohn, Grandmaster Abdul Aziz Muhammad, Grandmaster Bill McLeod, Grandmaster George Logan, Grandmaster David James, Sabonim, David Herbert, Sijul Abdul Mutakabir, GM Tom Curry, Master Warrington Hudlin. That's right. That's the Hudlin brothers. He's a master also. GM Lou Ferrer, also Tayari Cassell, Professor James Sims, Muhammad. Also, I just found out that Grandmaster McEady is going to be there from the angelic system. And Dr. Shakira Moore is going to be there also. Dr. Shakira is going to get thrown around. I can't wait to see that. I might just pop up in New York just to see that on May the 5th and the 6th. I know they're scheduled to be there on May the 5th, I believe. They're scheduled to be there on May the 5th. So that's going to be good. Dr. Shakira Moore is a badass martial artist, so let's not play with her. Also, if you're coming out to the 2023 Circle of Cosmic Conscious Retreat, please come on out. We're going to have a good time. Myself, Lloyd, Nina Diamond, Aquarius Maximus, and Jackie Levine. We will be in the building. Here's the website right there on the bottom, stshealing.com, stshealing.com. Come on out and join us for the whole 3 days. We're going to have a good time from the 17th all the way to the 19th, all right? 17th all the way to the 19th. We're going to have a good time. Come on out, enjoy, learn cardology, numerology, all of that. We're going to be mixing it up, having a good time with our beautiful sisters. Myself, you know, when me and Lloyd get together, it's a mother flipping party. Y'all don't even understand. And here's my brother, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's www.lloyd-strayhorn.com. 800-581-4401. World-renowned astronumerologist in Palm Street, Palmas. Go ahead, book a session and hook him up. He's the man with that when it comes to astronumerology. And don't forget, if you want to get my Numerovation guidance deck, $44 right now. Shipping and handling is not included. So please, if you want to pre-order the guidance deck today, email me at the email below, numerovationgcards@gmail.com. This is my family, man, my son and his beautiful empress. They're doing great thing. EPS Holistic Health and Wellness.square.site. 929-456-3009. Her muscle gel is phenomenal. It has helped me with lower back pains and knee pains. When I do my martial arts, I have to rub my body with all kinds of stuff. So get them a call, and she has given me some sample. Also, she got some great spiritual baths that I take. I'm almost finished, so I got to get some more when I go to New York. Also, if you want to learn the Dr. Africa method, please go to LailaAfrica.com. That's LailaAfrica.com. Pick up the Drop Squad Kitchen. Remember, continue to support Drop Squad Kitchen. You can still hit them up on GoFundMe, and still they're doing well. People are coming in. Hit them up at 302-984-2773. If you're in Brooklyn or Manhattan, go to Nicholas Brooklyn or Nicholas Cultural. 10% off if you take a snapshot of this right now. Remember, 10% off all retail in Brooklyn and in Manhattan. Give them a call at 718-858-4400. And remember, Dr. Shakira Moore has Holistica Palace. Do an iridology session. Join her newsletter. Get her products. She got some great stuff for children and adults, and definitely for those eyes and ears and all that. So make sure you go and get her products. Make sure you nominate your brother, King Simon, for whatever category you feel I fit in. Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And don't forget, go to infinitemesmag.com. That's infinitemesmag.com. Make sure you hit her up, and learn some information where spirituality and metaphysics are one. If you want to write your book, contact Susie Script, 914-361-9467. If you want all of my books, go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. Go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator to take my 2-hour class, introductory class on Udemy. Or if you want to get that 8-hour course, go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And if you want to book a full session with me, 30 minutes, it's nonstop, showing you how to apply your mathematics and your numbers. Text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Remember, I'm doing numerovation, baby. It's different than numerology and astrology and all that kind of stuff. Different. people are learning to follow my lead because it's about motivating with those numbers, not just reading people. I don't do readings. I keep on telling people that. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And like Dr. B. Sirius says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection because no one is perfect in this realm. Let's close out with Dr. Delbert Blair's prayer right now. Take a deep breath, relax. Relax, relax, relax. Dr. Delbert Blair, one of the great metaphysics teacher. If you want to find out more about his products, please go to his website. Here is his website. And where's his website? I know I had it right here next to me. Please support Dr. Blair's website by any and all means necessary. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Boom. The Legacy Shop. The metacenter2.com. That's the metacenter2.com. They do hydroponics. They do aeroponics. They do magnet classes. They do metaphysic classes. All of that. Brother Tony is well informed from Dr. Blair. That was his right-hand man. Dr. Blair's right-hand man. So go and tell Brother Tony King Simon sent you, the metacenter2.com, and get Dr. Blair's books. He got some transcribed books that's out there on the market right now. Go get the book. Here we go. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Let me say this one more time for the people in the back of the universe. Please, Universal Creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect me or us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds, our spirits, and our souls to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank all of you for tuning in. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We were broadcasting on Facebook, not only on King Simon Productions, but also on King Simon. And also we broadcast on YouTube at King Simon Presents and Numerovation. So again, family, thank y'all very much for tuning in. I really enjoyed Nikki Sheppard. If you missed it, if you missed the broadcast, please rewind it. Mental health is so important, more now than ever. If you missed the broadcast, rewind, play it again. I'm going to be throwing up some clips on the shorts, be throwing up some clips from her voice and my voice again. And please like, subscribe, share. King Simon Presents Only Quality People. And in the immortal words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, one love, one aim, one destiny. Up, you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. In the immortal words of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one creative force. You may call it God, Allah, Jesus, whatever, he, she, alien, whatever you call it, there's only one creative force, that frequency. And in the immortal words of the late, great Dr. Maya Angelou, whose birthday is coming up on April the 4th. And still, we rise. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Continue to rise to be your best. Forget the rest. Don't take nothing personal, but just be impeccable with your being. And all things will fall into place. Love and respect to all of you. Take care.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon, the Numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now.
All at once. Stepping off, rising block, first strike to the floating rib kidney. This is going to give you that effect. So even if the person is taller than you, for the most part, you cut them down to size because they're going to get that. The second strike is to the button. This is also, like I said, once again, to get the attention off of what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm opening up. Wrist, shoulder, slide in, elbow, break the balance, knee up and out. Let's count that in numbers one more time.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numero Beta. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numero Beta for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Poor or prosperous righteous teachers. We gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class